Hello and welcome to another series of AWS Learning. In this video, we are looking to learn something about security group chain. And this security group chain is to actually protect our communication between application load balancers and our instances. Now, let's go and let's look at a simple scenario. In maybe in some cases we like to um, allow HTTP communication, right? Put port 80 open to our instances. Imagine that these instances are all web servers, and then we are opening port 80, and then application load balancer receives traffic from internet, and then it forwards traffic to these web servers. But at the same time, when port 80 is open, and especially when we say that port 80 is open for any IP, then there is a chance of receiving another traffic from somewhere else, and that can be a malicious traffic, and we don't want that. We want to have only traffic coming from our application load balancer to the web servers and not from any other source. So this is our trusted source, and we like to have only traffic from this source. Now, what is the one of the solutions? So one of the solution is to use application load balancer security group, and let's say this is security group application load balancer. This is the security group for application load balancer. One of the way is to use this security group in source of security group rule for our instances. So it means that when we define a security group rule, when we say that port 80 is open, right? Sorry, let me go to change this pen. Let's go to this one. So when we say port 80 is open, instead of saying from any source, we can say the source of that rule is security group of application load balancer, right? And when we say that, it means that only traffic coming from application load balancer is being accepted in all instances, right? And not from any other unknown source, right? So this is the idea behind security group chain, and then adding a layer of security for load balancer and instances to be sure that there is not any other source of traffic coming to our web servers. So this is the idea. Now, and to test this idea, I'm doing a very simple test. Let's start. Alright, let's look at building a load balancer first, because I need its security group later for the instances. So let's go to the load balancer services, and let's start building our first application load balancer. So application load balancer create. I will put a name. So this is my first application load balancer. It's an internet facing load balancer. Then IP version 4 for the VPC, to create and to be sure that everything is fine. We need to have two availability zones, in each of them one public subnet, right? Let's see if that is something that we have already, then we can continue. So, and to do that, I'm going to VPC first. Let's go to VPC, let's check the subnets, everything, to be sure they're all good. So in our subnets, actually I have two VPCs here. One is 172.31 IP domain, and the other one is 10.0. So On that first one, I have only one public subnet, so I need one more public subnet for the load balancer purposes. So let's do that. Let's make it like once. This is work public subnet 1. Then let's create another one in that same VPC, and this time I put 2 here, so this is for public subnet 2, and then 10.0.1.0/24. This is one. This is for second public subnet in that for that VPC. Then I have 2 web servers, so I like to put them in 2 private subnets in same availability zones. Let's see if I put this one in another availability zone. No, these are in one availability zone, right? So I don't want really that one. So let's delete it. I don't like to have 2 in one availability zone. I need to have 2 public subnets in 2 different availability zones. So the first one is in US is 1A, and the second one should be in 1B. So again, this is work VPC. This is number 2. So I'm looking to put it in 1B, and then 10.0.1.0/24. Okay, now it's better. Now I have 2 public subnets, and so 0.0.0.0 and 1.0. One of them is US is 1A, and the other one is 1B, right? The last one. Good. Now I'm looking to have 2 private subnet in same availability zone. So let's go ahead. In same VPC, this is my private subnet 1, right? And then this is in 1A, and then 10.0.2.0/24. Done. And then one more in same VPC, private subnet 2 in 1B, 10.0.3.0/24. 3.0. Okay, done. So now I have all subnets that you need, and now I'm good. Let's come back to create VPC application load balancer. Let's choose the work VPC, the one that I'm working on. Then it asks me to select at least 2 availability zones and 1 subnet per zone, and that subnet should be public. Oh, and to make that one public, let's do something. Let's see what happens. The first one is okay. The second one, it said that that subnet is not a public subnet. So let's make it public. Let's go to VPC part. Let's go to route tables, and then let's go to so this is work public route table. I believe this is for work VPC. I believe this one has internet gateway. Good. And if I go to subnet associations, work public subnet 1 is here. So this is a public subnet. Actually, we made it public, and I'd like to make another one also a public subnet. Now that both subnets are associated to this route. Route has internet gateway, so those subnets are both public now. So let's come back again. Let's maybe refresh it. Let's go to work VPC. Now first zone, first public subnet, second zone, second public subnet. As you see, no error. So both of them are public. So we are good. In terms of security group, because I need to use this security group for EC2 instances, I'm going to choose another one. Maybe so there is not any other. So I'm creating one. Let's create one security group, and then let's use it here. So let's create a new security group. I will call it security group for application load balancer, and then it's in my work VPC. Actually, I work in this VPC. Then for inbound rule, so something I like to put is I like to say all HTTP traffic is allowed from internet, right? So internet traffic by HTTP is allowed. So this is done. Save. Description. Okay, so yeah, this is allow HTTP traffic. Okay. Save. Now this is my new security group. Let's come back to application load balancer part. Now if I refresh it, I should have that security group for application load balancer also here. So let's choose this one instead of default. And then for the listeners, HTTP 80, and then we need also a target group. I do not have any instances right now, but I can create that subnet, that target group, and I can add or register instances later. So let's create target group right now. That target group has instances, not IP address, not lambda function, not another application load balancer. I call it first TG target group, and then it works on port 80 HTTP IP version 4 in work VPC, and then for the health check HTTP, and then the path is like the default path, and everything is okay. So let's create it. As you see, there is not actually, and I have a bastion host. I don't use it. I do not have any other instance to register here. So let's create it without any instance right now, right? So 0 unhealthy, 0 healthy, because no instance is here. That's fine. Now let's go to, so this is there, target group is created. Let's go to application load balancer creation. Let's continue. This is my first TG, and then we can leave everything else as default. I don't need any WAF. This is a testing purpose. I don't need any global accelerator for now. So as you see, we have born application load balancer, internet facing, IP version 4. Security group is security group for application load balancer, the new one that I've already created. For VPC, it's in work VPC. This application load balancer is in 2 availability zones, in 2 public subnets, and it's listening to HTTP port 80 from internet, and should be done. Okay, so this is application load balancer. Let's go and create web servers now. Alright, so let's go to instances. Let's create 2 servers. So this is server 1. It is Amazon Linux, T2 Micro, free tier eligible one. For keeper, I don't need any keeper because this is my private secure web server in private subnet. For VPC, let's go to work VPC, and I put it in my first private subnet that I've already created. I don't need any public IP address. And for the security groups, this is the target of this video actually. So let's so this is like the name of target group is launch wizard 1. And then for the rules and for the inbound rules, I said because this will be our web server, so it accepts HTTP traffic, but not from anywhere, right? It's a custom source, and that source is not IP. I'm choosing the security group for load balancer. So security group for the load balancer is the source of this rule, right? And then for user data, to create that Apache web server, let's go to advanced details. let's go all the way down to user data, and let's copy some lines of code to finally install Apache Web Server, and then enable it to start it, and finally to have like to be able to distinguish servers from each other. Then we echo this variable and text in that index.html, right? So let's launch the first one. Okay, let's go and create the second one. So let's go to say this is server 2, and then again Linux image T2 micro, no keeper. I put it in same work VPC, and then in second subnet, private subnet 2, no public IP for the security group. I can go to can be another security group, we can use the same one, you can reuse that one, whatever you like. But the point is, again, I'm looking to say HTTP is allowed, not from anywhere, from custom source, and custom source is security group for the load balancer, right? And then in terms of user data to create that Apache web server, again we put some lines of code to install Apache server, and finally start it, launch. So we should have two servers running, and then let's do something. Let's now come back to the load balancer. So this is our load balancer, everything should be fine, it's now active, but the point is the target group is empty. So let's go to this here target group, and then let's go to register targets. Now I have two servers, right? So let's register these two servers, so include them, and then let's register. So we should wait for them to be healthy. So wait for a moment, I will restart this video whenever they are ready. I should have two healthy instances here. Okay, so I waited for a couple of seconds, and now I have two healthy servers in my load balancer, right? So if I go to my load balancer, and this is the DNS name, and let's open it in one page. This is one page, and then let's open it here. Okay, so it works, right? So hello world from that IP. This is actually IP, and then .ec2, .internal. This is the name of one instance. If I refresh it, hopefully it goes to another one, right? This is the second one, right? So it toggles between those two. Okay, so actually the target for this video is not testing the load balancer, but I hope you got the point, right? So the point is these instances. If I go to one of them, let's go to like server 1, then security, and then the security group. The point again is, for the rule for security group, for inbound rule, a traffic coming by HTTP, and source is a custom source, and that source, this is security group for the load balancer, right? If I open it, you can see it here, security group for load balancer. So I could chain security groups, means I used a security group as a source inside another security group to be sure that the traffic comes to these web servers only from application load balancer and not from any other unknown sources. And you saw that I've tested that one, everything is fine. Okay, I hope you like this one, and you learn how security group chain can help us to restrict source of traffic to our services. Thank you.